November. I am here with our October favorites video. If you are interested in joining me on the Patreon this month, we are going to be working on shadow work for the Witch School module for the month. We're going to work on shadow work, ways to do it, what you can do, that kind of thing if you're interested in that stuff. I also have in the Coven, we're going to be working with Pluto and working on shadow work. Kind of, you know, it's a theme. It's a theme right now. We're in Scorpio season. Mercury's in retrograde. It seemed like the perfect time to do it. So if you're interested, you can click down below. I've got some links there. But otherwise, let's get on with our favorites for the month. I don't actually have a ton of favorites this month. It's not that I didn't like things or something. I didn't get a ton of new stuff. And so I thought, well, I'll show you what I have, what I've been enjoying, what I've been working on, that kind of thing for the month of October. So first of all, we're going to do the woo stuff. Well, actually, it's all woo stuff. So what am I talking about? Anyway, the Halloween Tarot. This is one that I've had for a while, but it was kind of sitting on the shelf. And I really thought that this October I would pull it out, give it a whirl. And I've been really, really enjoying reconnecting with this. It is a really fun deck. It really makes me think of like childhood Halloween. I love all the colors. I love the style on it. It's a very nostalgic deck for me, but it gives really good readings as well. So it is not just like a novelty kind of thing. It actually does do some pretty good readings. So I love all the oranges and the purples. I love its kitschy kind of theme. I think it's really, really cool. There, we've got this black cat and the orange. This makes me think very much of, I keep saying this, but those Halloween kisses, I don't know if this is a Canadian thing. They were like kind of like caramel or toffee, and you'd get them in their bag. And people often didn't like them. They were like a molasses, chewy type thing. But I really love them. So this makes me think of that. There's sort of like some circus type vibes here. Kind of pulling the hat out. Very cool. I love the suits. The pentacles are pumpkins. Let's see if we can find some others. There's some more pumpkins. Those swords are bats. This is the Ace of Swords. He's a bat. Very cool. What else do we have here? Oh, the sun. That's really cool with all the skulls. I love how happy they are. Like, it's very kitschy, cute. Ghosts, 4 cups. Very cool. And then I'm trying to find one with a fire. Oh, there's the tower. Got the beautiful haunted house there. Hangman. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, that's ghosts again. I'm trying to find some imps for you. Aha, there's some imps. We also have some imps as well for fire, for the wands. Oh, I love the Ace of Pumpkins. It's a trick or treat thing. So very cute, very cool. Totally getting me into the Halloween spirit. I've just really loved reconnecting with this deck. It's one of my favorites. I've also got this month the Inner Star Oracle deck. This was kind of a purchase on a whim. I saw this on Instagram and I just really loved the style and the artwork. It made me think of the Sacred Creators deck by Chris Ann Donnelly. I love the colors and the simple white lines and the geometric designs. It's very, very beautiful. This is a very much a hug from the universe type deck. Things like uplift each other. These beautiful blues and the moon there. We've got purples and greens. Got some nice pinks. Look at this beautiful snake. So it's got a little bit of animal imagery in it, but it's mostly these beautiful geometric type designs here. And I just really love this deck. Like, I think of this in some ways as a very angelic deck, even though it's just geometry, because it's very non-corporeal. It's very just like abstract and very much about ideas. There's another beautiful blue one. So I really like this deck. I'm really enjoying it. I've been using it on my Instagram for my Sunday draws. I'm just really liking it and enjoying it. And it's a peaceful, lovely, pretty deck, that's for sure. But I think it has some good insights. I've pulled a card every week and it's been relevant. And I'm like, yes, I'm hearing what this deck has to say to me. So very nice deck. It's an independent deck as well. But it wasn't super expensive either. So yeah, it's a good little deck here. And then the other one that again was kind of a bit of a not impulse, but kind of like I usually think about a deck a lot before I buy it. But a viewer who recommended to me, they said, "Hey, have you seen this deck? I think you might like it." So I did pre-order it, and it came out, and it is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Now, I know there's been a lot of unboxing videos about this. I did one as well. I think this is going to be my December deck just because there's something magical about this deck. This, I think, is going to become one of my favorite decks. There's a really lovely beauty to this that makes me think of like English fairy tales. The book, by the way, is gorgeous. The art style makes me think of the British sort of fairy tale books I used to get from my grandma back when I was young. These beautiful giants. Let's find some more stuff. This woman's caught in brambles here. Look at this swan, and then the reflection has like the crown on there. I mean, it's just magical and wonderful fairies and imps and things. It is a beautiful, beautiful deck. The deck itself is a bit smaller than the usual Llewellyn decks, and I think the cardstock is just a hair thinner, but I'm not going to let that bother me. The backs are just gorgeous, and it's just like a lovely deck with a lot of greens, blues. It's so magical. Look at this witch making her magic circle around her. There's dragons, beautiful fairies. There's something just like childlike wonder that I get from this deck. And that's why I think I'm going to use it in December as kind of like a Christmassy deck. Even though it isn't a particularly wintry deck and it has a lot of greens, to me it evokes that sort of magic of Christmas and magic of childhood type of energy, at least for me anyway. So that was those two were like lovely surprise finds that I was not expecting this month. The other thing that again was not something I planned, because usually I think about things for a while, is the Honeycomb Personal Almanac. So I heard about this through the Astrology podcast, which is a great astrology podcast, especially if you are an intermediate astrologer. I think if you are a brand new beginner to astrology, I think both that podcast and something like this might be a bit overwhelming. I think you should study the basics for a while before you get into this, because it might be just like, what's going on here? It's way too much. But what this is it's an almanac. So it has all of the full moons and the new moons and all of the aspects for the year. But you put in your birth time, you give them your birth time, place, date, and they pull up your chart, and then they also give the aspects that are affecting you personally. So there's what's going on in the sky right now, and then how does that relate to your personal chart? And so it's really, really great if you're a student of astrology, an intermediate student, you are learning the aspects, you are learning how things are affecting you. This is really, really great. It's got a nice spiral bound. It's got like all of the glyphs here. It's got some, this is super handy for the longer transits. So for the planets that move slower, first I want to show you that it has your birth chart at the front, so you know it's for you. It has these pages, which I think are amazing. So what it is it's showing you each month how long certain long-term transits are going for. So it has all the longer-term planets. It has Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, Chiron, Saturn, and Jupiter. And then these lines here tell you how long a particular transit is going on for. So at a glance, you can see what the longer term transits that often signify larger and bigger changes in our life are going for. So for example, I have Pluto opposite my midheaven and my moon, which are together, up until right into the beginning of February. I am going to be dealing with that. So it gives you kind of like a nice overview. And then it has for every month, it has one for every month with all of the planets. So you can see every month how that's affecting you. Then we have our calendar, like our month calendar, and it has here the transits affecting you in blue, and the ones that are in black are the ones affecting everybody. And then every day it has here the weeks. So for example, you've got this week here, the first week of January. And so this has got like, especially all the lunations, all the lunar aspects, which happen very fast. So the ones that are in, it's hard to see here, but the ones that are lighter are ones affecting everyone, and the ones that are darker are the ones affecting you. So that's the way that it works. And it goes through that through the whole month. And then at the back, it has an ephemeris, which is a chart that basically shows you every day what degree the planets are at. So it's a really great resource if you are studying astrology, if you're even just studying it for learning more about yourself and how astrology is affecting you personally, not necessarily if you are doing it professionally or anything. This can be really, really good. And I love on the front the personalization where it has like my sun is in Leo, moon in Cancer, ascended or rising sign in Libra. So that's really, I think that's really, really cute. So it was not terribly expensive either, and I really enjoy working with this. So those are my favorites for the month of October. Again, not a ton of stuff, but I've been really enjoying, I think, quality over quantity, right? So I hope that you've had a wonderful October. We're getting towards the end of 2019, and it's 2 more months, and then it's 2020. It's a new decade. Go figure. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, as always, and peace and love